Welcome to 18th Street. Let's come on in. When you enter the building, we have security over here to the right. So make sure you have your name badge with you so you can identify yourself. Up just a little bit further, we have our temperature station. When you come into the building, you should step in front of this to self-assess your temperature. If you're under 100.4 degrees, then you can proceed. We have our bathrooms over here. And then on the other side, our elevators. This is going to take you up to the 3rd floor where the Hub Clinic is located. See you there. All right, we just got off the elevator on the 3rd floor. Let's go ahead and head towards the clinic. On the right here, we have our restrooms. And this is going to be our patient screening room. So when the patients come up, we're going to screen them here. This is a copy of our fire evacuation route and obviously one of our fire extinguishers. There are 3 total in the Hub Clinic. Once you pass this point, this is a mask up zone, so everyone that comes in here needs to have a mask on. As you can see, our chairs are all 6 feet apart. This is the front desk where patients will check in and check out. And this is the entrance into Suite 301. This is our storage closet. Our oxygen tanks will eventually be stored here. And this is our staff cove. This is where staff is going to self-assess as well as clock in and clock out for the day. And this is one of our treatment bays here. As you can see, these 3 tables on the end are different than the other ones. That's because those are specifically meant for the massage therapy program. But when they're not in session, they can be open for everyone. All right, and over here we have our student cove, and this is where students are going to sign in for the day. They're also going to do their self-assessment. And this is another one of our fire extinguishers, as well as another fire evacuation route.
Next, we're going to go into the medical records room. This is where you will find your charts for the day. You will also see an area where you can add your charts once you have completed charting, for charts to be filed. And this is a location where you will also find our policies and procedures.
Over here, we've got the countertop where we're going to store our face shields. Only clean face shields are going to go on this countertop here. This semester, because of COVID-19, it's a requirement that we wear a face mask as well as face shield or goggles. We're going to supply the face shields here, but after each patient, you need to wipe off the face mask with a caddy wipe and then set it on the counter to dry. There's a 3-minute wet time on the caddy wipe, so it has to be wet for 3 minutes for it to properly clean. Over here, we've got our first aid and spill kit located at the top here. Obviously, we have our sink where we wash our hands. We have our hydroculator and our freezer. And this freezer is not to be used for your lunch. This freezer is meant for patient use only, so our ice packs are stored inside of here. We've got some lockers. The lockers are going to be used for staff and students to put their belongings. Interesting thing about the lockers is each key controls only the locker that it's in. So we're going to just keep the keys in there for now and then turn it to lock it. Over here we've got another set of cubbies. These cubbies are going to be for the patient use. All right, and then as you can see, we have some of the same equipment and some new equipment. Located on this corner over here, we have our AED, and above that, another fire evacuation route. And so one of the things that we're doing to help try to stop the spread of COVID-19 is we're using these laminated cards. And as you can see, this one here is on the stop side. That means this table is currently in use or it has not been cleaned. So if you see a laminated card on the stop side, that means that somebody's using it or you gotta wait for it to be clean. And the items that are on here are cleaning the table and pillow with cavi wipes, clean the equipment that was used during the treatment, dispose of any dirty linen that was used, flip the pillows vertically so that they're like this, and then go wash your hands for 20 seconds. You're also going to wipe down your computer screen and keyboard whenever you're done using that. After you've done all that, you can flip the card over to the go side, and that means the table is now ready for use. And it's Welcome to Suite 302. This is where we're going to be doing ultrasound. To the right over here, we have a restroom. Straight ahead is one of our ultrasound rooms. As you can see, we have another laminated card over here. This one's on the go side, so this room is good to go. Coming in here, this is another ultrasound room. This is where the trophon cleaner is going to be located. Above the trophon, we've got our instructions on how to operate it. And here's another laminated card. This one's on the stop side. So one thing that we're going to want to take note of on this one is it has an extra step of wiping down the door handle and the countertops. Located on the right here is our last fire extinguisher and fire evacuation route. And now we're heading into our break room where you can go to take a break. Or if you need to use an overflow area to maybe do some documentation, you can come in here and work. As you know, with COVID-19, we're trying to make sure that we're maintaining our social distance. So if you need to spread out a little bit, this could be a good room to do that in. This is going to be where we're doing our patient screening. As you can see the paper on the wall over there, that's our patient assessment form, and that's the questions that we're going to be asking the patients. On the tables here, notice a laminated card. We're going to have to pay attention to that. And our spaces are 6 feet apart, so we can maintain social distancing. All right, students, welcome here to the Student Co. By the time you've gotten up here, you should have already taken your temperature downstairs at the temperature station. If for some reason you were not able to do that, we will keep a thermometer here for you to go ahead and check it. After you've done that, the next step is to ask yourself the questions on the student self-assessment form. Assuming that you're good to go, then you'll get the student sign-in book out, and you will, depending on whatever discipline you are, you'll fill out the information here kind of the same as usual. The only thing that's different is now we have a box for the COVID-19 self-assessment check, and all you'll do is put a check mark in there to attest that you are good to go for the COVID-19 self-assessment. All right, staff, welcome to the Staff Cove. By the time you've made it up here, more than likely you should have already taken your temperature downstairs at the temperature station. If for some reason you were unable to do that, we will keep a thermometer here for you to check here. After you've checked your temperature, the next thing that we're going to do is have you look at this form and ask yourself all of these questions. Assuming that you're good to go, you're going to get the staff self-assessment log, and you're going to write your name, put a date on it, and then sign it to attest that you've self-screened and you're not showing any signs or symptoms of COVID-19. After you've done that, we'll keep the Surface Pros over here, and you can go ahead and clock in for the day. So as far as the patient check-in process, the way that that's going to work is the patients are going to call when they pull up into the parking lot. At that point, we'll inform them to go ahead and come into the lobby, and we'll send whoever's patient it is down to meet them in the first floor lobby. You'll come up the elevator, and then you'll bring them this way. So we'll bring the patients in through the staff-only entrance here. ask the patients pretty much the same questions that you've been asking yourself. We've got the patient assessment form here. Assuming that they pass the screening, we will then check their temperature to make sure they're not above 100.4 degrees. And then if they pass the screening completely, we'll bring them out and then they can go to the waiting room to check in for the day. Oh no, a fire. Let's look at the fire evacuation route. We are here. Let's exit the facility. In case of a fire, do not use the elevator. Let's meet by the garbage can. Now let's take a head count.